Hi, I'm Phyllis, southernfrugal.com. This afternoon we're going to fix some homemade soup because they're actually forecasting snow for South Carolina, which shocked us, okay? We almost never get snow. Anyway, I'm heating up my pan and I'm going to brown, this is about 1.25 pounds of ground round beef. So my pan actually got too hot, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. So this is some ground round I bought on sale last October 14th. So it's 85% lean and 15% fat. We do need a little fat to give it a good taste. So I'm going to dump that in. So the first thing is to brown that meat. Alright, I'm going to put a cover on there. I don't want it splashing all over my stove. But anyway, let me show you all the vegetables we're going to put in there. Hold on. So there's the meat, and I did freeze it in little patties. And here's what we're going to put in. The first thing we're going to do is saute 2 big onions and the carrots. Of course, I've got to peel all that. And we're also going to put the celery in, and this is some celery I actually blanched and froze last July. I'm going to use a lot of potatoes. Now, best to use the red potatoes because they hold up better in the soup, because we're going to be sauteing this for probably several hours. We're going to, be cooking it, simmering for several hours. I'm going to use some frozen green beans. These are field peas with snaps, little green butter beans, or lima beans, and some kale, and I just pinched off the kale from the stalk in little pieces. And I'm going to put in some diced tomatoes with no salt in them. And we're going to also use some of the butternut squash. And of course the main thing, we'll put in water. Now I'm sauteing the meat with, or cooking the meat with the extra virgin olive oil, extra light tasting. I'm going to use some dill, I'm going to use some bay leaf, some parsley, and some oregano leaves. Alright y'all, so I've got a lot of peeling and chopping to do. So the first thing after the meat gets done, I'll be doing the carrots and the onions with the celery, just sauteing them to soften them up. Then we'll start putting in the rest of the stuff. Now the last thing I'm going to put in will be the tomatoes. And the reason for that is I don't want my potatoes to taste like tomatoes. So anyway, we'll be back. Alright, we are back, and I've got the hamburger browned. And we got a lot of brown bits in the bottom of the pot. Now I've got to where I leave the hamburger in patties, like that. That way more of the grease stays in the pot for when I saute the carrots and the onions and the celery. Works out better, and then I just crumble it up with my hands or fingers once I'm ready to put it back in. Alright, so now we are ready to put the carrots in. Right there, we got the pot already hot. I do the carrots first, just because they're a little harder than the onions. That was about 7 carrots. And again, I'm making a great big pot of soup. Some of it I'll freeze, but a lot of it we will eat. Now, it really is, it gets better the second day in the refrigerator, and by the third day it is just super delicious. We usually, when I fix soup, if I don't freeze some of it, we eat every last bit of it in about 3 days. Alright, so we're going to saute those. Actually, we'll just put those on the bottom, let them cook for a while, and I'm going to go ahead and put my onions in right on top, just because I'm in a hurry. And that was 2 fairly large onions. And I'm also going to go ahead and put in the celery. That's probably a cup of chopped celery. Alright, so we're going to let this cook for a while and let a lot of the moisture come out of it. Then we're going to put the rest of this stuff in. We'll be back. Alright, we are back, and you can see how far the carrots and the onions and the celery has cooked down. So now I'm going to add the hamburger that's been all crumbled up. I'm going to add all the potatoes. The butternut squash, which are really hard to peel and cut up. You almost have to have a serrated knife to do it. I'm going to go ahead and add the green beans. They're frozen. That's this holds 10 ounces. This is 2 cups of, what are they called? Steel peas with snaps. Dump those in. They take about 45 minutes to cook. These are green baby limas. Dump those in. They're still frozen a bit. And I'm going to actually go ahead and put the kale in. Now it's time to add a whole bunch of water, and I'm waiting till the very end to put the spices in and the 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm using the no salt added type. Alright, so now I'm just going to put in some filtered water. And we're going to let this cook for probably over an hour, and just on low medium. And then we're going to add the tomatoes and let it simmer along with the spices for a good bit longer. So that is a lot of soup, but again, we love it, so stir that down a little bit. Alright, y'all, we'll be back. Alright, we are back. The soup has been cooking for about an hour. So, of course, everything in the soup is done now. So now we're going to add the spices. Alright. So the first thing, let me move y'all closer. I'm going to add some parsley flakes. Probably maybe a tablespoon or so. Yeah. And I've already got out 3 bay leaves. We'll put those in. Now I'll pick those out at the end. And we're going to put about a tablespoon of dried dill. I just really like the dried dill. And we're going to put in some oregano leaves. Now what the oregano does is sharpens the taste of the potatoes, so that's probably about a teaspoon of oregano leaves. Just stir that all in. And now I'm going to go ahead and add 2 of the, this is 14.5 ounce cans of diced tomatoes. And I could get these at Aldi's with no salt added. So again, 2 cans of those. And then last of all, I'm going to add, this is 2 beef bouillon, the low salt type, dissolved in about 3/4 of a cup of water in the microwave. I want to dump that in. Now I'm not going to add any more salt until the very end. It might not need any more salt because of course the bouillon's pretty salty. But in this much of a pot, that'd be a lot. Alright, so just going to stir that around. And now I'm going to turn it down and just let it be barely simmering for probably another hour or so. Yeah. Alright, there it is. Alright, we'll be back when this gets done and we can put it in the bowls. Well, actually it's already done. It's just going to need to simmer a little while to get all those spices mingled in there. We'll be back. Alright, y'all, it's dark outside and we're ready to eat. There's the soup. Let you see it down below. I like it with the clear kind of soup instead of milky, creamy looking. And we've got our iced tea and 2 popovers each. There's my bowl. Yeah. All right, and we're good and hungry now. Now I wanted to show y'all the popover pans. There they are. And I have got them listed on products I highly recommend. And why do I highly recommend them? Because look at that. And I really have sort of changed up my recipe, which makes them much higher like that. So I'm going to leave that in the description down below. And also those pans, now if you go to my website, southernfrugal.com, look under the heading products I highly recommend, and just scroll down and you'll see those pans. I got them from Amazon. And by the way, I never wash them, and I do grease them with some Crisco every time, and then when they get through baking, I wipe them out clean, and they work perfect. All right, again, I'll leave that recipe down below. All right, so there's the soup, and we're ready to eat. We will see y'all next time. Bye for now.